What if losing belly fat didn't require hours of cardio, hundreds of crunches, or following a diet you hate? Because for most people, the best fat loss plan isn't the hardest one, it's the one you can actually stick to. And before we go any further, there's one thing you need to understand. You can't choose exactly where your body loses fat. Doing hundreds of crunches might make your abs stronger, but it won't specifically burn the fat covering your stomach. To lose belly fat, you need to gradually reduce your overall body fat, and that can be much simpler than you think. You don't need to start by running 5 miles every morning. Start by walking more. Seriously, walking is probably one of the easiest ways to increase how much energy you burn without making yourself exhausted or interfering with your workouts. Take a walk after dinner, park a little farther away, use the stairs, walk while you're talking on the phone. These small things might not feel like exercise, but over weeks and months, they add up. And this is where most people make fat loss much more complicated than it needs to be. They focus on finding the perfect workout while ignoring what they eat and drink every day. You don't need a perfect diet, but if you regularly consume more calories than your body needs, losing fat becomes much harder. One of the easiest places to start is with what you drink. Soda, sugary coffee drinks, juice, and other high-calorie drinks can add hundreds of calories without making you feel very full. Replacing some of them with water or zero-calorie alternatives can reduce your calorie intake without making your meals smaller. And when it comes to food, keep it simple. You don't need to survive on chicken and broccoli. Build most of your meals around a good source of protein, add some fruits or vegetables, and choose foods that actually keep you satisfied. Protein is especially useful when you're trying to lose fat because it helps you stay full and helps preserve muscle while you're losing weight. So instead of asking, "What foods burn belly fat?" ask yourself a much more useful question. What can I eat consistently that helps me control my calories without feeling hungry all day? That's the approach you can actually maintain. But there's another part of the equation that people sometimes ignore. Strength training. If your goal is to look better as you lose weight, you don't just want the number on the scale to go down. You want to keep as much muscle as possible. And you don't need a complicated gym routine to do that. A few strength workouts each week can make a big difference. Squats, rows, presses, lunges, deadlift variations. You can train your entire body with a pair of dumbbells. The goal isn't to destroy yourself every workout. The goal is to give your muscles a reason to stay strong while your body gradually loses fat. And no, you don't need hours of cardio on top of that. If you enjoy running, cycling, or other cardio, great, do it. But if you hate cardio, don't build your entire fat loss plan around something you know you'll quit after 2 weeks. Walk more, lift weights, control your food, and repeat. There's also one surprisingly important part of fat loss that happens when you're doing absolutely nothing. Sleep. When you're constantly tired, sticking to your diet and training plan can become much harder. You may feel hungrier, have less energy to move, and be more likely to skip your workouts. So getting enough sleep isn't some magic fat-burning trick. It simply makes the other things you need to do much easier to maintain. And that brings us to the real secret behind the lazy approach. Make fat loss easy enough that you can keep doing it. You don't need to eat perfectly every day. You don't need to train 7 days a week. And you definitely don't need to punish yourself every time you eat something you enjoy. You need a small, sustainable calorie deficit. You need enough protein. You need some strength training. You need daily movement. And you need time. Because belly fat usually didn't appear in 2 weeks, and it probably won't disappear in 2 weeks either. Your body decides where it stores fat and where it loses it first. For some people, the stomach is one of the last places to get noticeably leaner. That doesn't mean your plan isn't working. It means you need to give it enough time. So if you want the laziest way to lose belly fat that actually works, stop searching for shortcuts that make everything harder. Walk more, eat a little better, get enough protein, lift some weights, sleep well, and do it consistently. It might not sound exciting, but boring and consistent beats extreme and temporary every single time. Subscribe for more simple fitness tips and dumbbell workouts.